somehow we have made it to June, which completely baffles and boggles the mind, but it does mean that I get to do another setup in the bullet journal. This will be the last setup for this journal. This is a 6-month basically journal. There's only so many pages left, and I thought that I would do something fitting for the season. So a bit of spring, a bit of summer. I have this floral kind of purple green PET tape that I got from Journal Say, which I shall link in the description box below. And I have some purple fountain pen ink from Diplomat that I got in a subscription box a long while back. I don't go through my fountain pen ink nearly as quickly as I would like, which is a shame because I really want to buy more fountain pen ink, but I can't until I use what I've got. Anyways, I have found that fountain pen ink is wonderful as a watercolor, so I am just going to do this floral PET tape and some watercolor blobs, and I think that'll be a very fun, kind of summery, springtime vibe for June. I'm also going in with this Artistro metallic paint pen to do my headings, and I think the silver shows up really nicely against that purple, kind of a galaxy vibe, which is not what I was expecting with my floral, but oh well. The one downside is that the watercolor effect does kind of wrinkle the page, but given that it's the last setup in the journal, I don't mind so much. I am going to switch out my ruler here. That wooden one has a metal edge there, which kind of makes it difficult to use with a paint pen. So here is an acrylic one that I've got that I use for sewing that works just fine. I am doing something a little differently this month, as I intend to take a holiday the last week of June and the first week of July. So I will have to do my content planning for July in the middle of June, which I always do my content planning a month early anyways, but this will be extra early. So I am putting both the June and July content planning calendars into this particular monthly setup. I'm also doing things a little bit differently. I have started doing a different sort of video for my book marketing and such, so I am planning out my static posts for June and July, and then I will be planning out my videos for June and July separately. So I am doing 4 of these very large kind of calendar checklist spreads. So they're going to look very similar with some PET tape down at the bottom and then blobs of fountain pen ink up at the top, but they will be for different purposes. I usually plan my marketing content about a month in advance anyways, so this isn't too much of a departure, but I have to say the thought of doing 2 months worth of content planning basically back to back does kind of intimidate a little. I do this not irregularly. I tend to take a summer holiday every year, and so this is not unheard of for me, but it does always kind of intimidate when I have to actually get around to planning and doing. Such is the life of an indie bookseller and author and editor. There's just a lot of things that have to be done behind the scenes, so I've got to get it done. Once I do get this done, though, I get to take my 2 weeks off, and oh, it is so nice. This is absolutely necessary for my mental health, and I get to spend 2 weeks where I just read whatever I want. I can do crafts, I can take naps, I watch a movie, I'll go on lots of walks with the dogs, and make some food, bake some cakes, something very relaxing, a very cozy holiday. I don't tend to go anywhere, just because I don't travel anymore, thanks to my various physical issues, and also because I don't enjoy it anymore. And I think a stay-at-home holiday is the best way to go. So here you're just seeing me do the same thing over again. I really like having this smaller purple pen going with this silver acrylic marker. The pen does not draw on top of the marker, so it looks really nice. And it goes with the purple theme that I'm doing. I really like using a PET tape that has a repeating pattern or just a long loop. I think it's really easy to add to a theme and make the decorations look really nice. The problem, of course, is that these long strips of PET tape, I have the hardest time getting the backing off. It's so difficult for my poor fingers. But I got there eventually. One thing that you will note is that it looks like I'm writing directly on top of wet ink, and that is not the case. I go through and dry everything with a heat gun before I write my headings down. I just spared you that particular film because it's terribly boring, and also the camera hates the heat gun. It just focuses and then blurs and then focuses and then blurs. It's a whole mess. So this page is another content planning page. This is for planning out YouTube videos and for posts for the reader group that I help run over on Facebook. And it is going to be a busy adventure for the reading group this year or this summer because there's another fantasy reader group that does a summer reading challenge, and that inevitably spills over to this group for any book that happens to have dragons in it. And so things get a little busier, and it's fun, and we have a good time. And I participate in that summer reading challenge in the other Facebook group too, which always adds a bit of an adventure. For anyone who is noting that the purple blobs of ink do not match the floral tape, you are absolutely correct, but this is what I have, and I do actually like how it turns out looking together. I think it looks really nice. It's kind of all in the same family, so it works perfectly fine. Now we're getting into my standard word count setup for the month. This is where I keep track of how many words I've written on various projects every day. The top is for typing between 0 and 2,500 words, which is pretty standard for me. And then the bottom is how many pages I have handwritten, so between 0 and 4, which is also pretty standard when I actually get around to writing things by hand. June will probably not be terribly exciting since I am taking off time and and therefore won't be doing any writing during that particular week. But I still enjoy keeping track of all of my projects and what I'm working on at the moment. And right now I have two. One I should not be touching at all because it wasn't on my project plan for the year, and the other is my epic romantasy that I have been working on for what feels like far too long. To be fair, there were a lot of pauses in there for the last few months because I have been doing editing for clients on a fairly regular basis, so there's not a lot of free time to do writing on my own projects, which is perfectly fine. I am happy to put my projects aside for editing clients. But it will be nice to get the first draft of that epic romantasy done. I am moving closer to the epic climax, and I'm very excited. This project has been in my head for a while, and I had to stop for a couple of years because I couldn't figure out how I wanted the story to go. But I did figure it out, and I have rewritten the whole thing 3 times now. So I'm ready to move on to the next draft. I turn the page here without adding my heading for the word count. I will realize it in just a moment, so do not fret. In the meantime, I'm going through and working on my habit tracker and memory keeping spread. On the left-hand page is the habit tracker. I just keep track of whether I did or didn't do something every day. I have space for 4 different things to keep track of, and I think that's a pretty good number for me. And on the right-hand side is a memory keeping spread where I can keep track of events that I went to, things that I did. If I get little stickers from things like my bookbinding supply company or what have you, then I can add them there. And I think it's fun to add just a little bit of memory keeping into a journal. I don't tend to do large-scale memory keeping in its own separate journal. I just like these little snippets here on the page. And if I don't end up doing lots of things in the month, then I still have the decorations behind, and it looks pretty good. Once again, I am going back and adding in the heading that I forgot to put in. This is the last of the functional spreads for this monthly theme. This is my books read and book stats page. This is where I keep track of what books I read, how many are off my TBR, how many I did not finish, whether I bought any books and what those books were, etc. I keep a larger record of everything with reviews and such in my separate reading journal, but this is a good way for me to keep track of things throughout the month as I'm reading without needing to create a whole spread and keep track of all of that information. I don't tend to keep track of things like finances or calendars in this bullet journal, simply because I have separate journals for those. I have a paper calendar notebook that has things like dentist appointments and when I'm supposed to be doing what and that sort of a thing. And the finances I just keep in a separate journal dedicated for that purpose. So a lot of these functional spreads are purely for business and marketing and my writing career. So I know that it's not particularly applicable to everybody who has other needs and jobs, but I hope that it gives you some sort of inspiration for things that you can put in your own journal. Now I'm going through and putting together my weekly spreads. This is where I keep my to-do list, my running to-do list for work tasks, things like updating my writer website or putting all of my books onto the Barnes & Noble press page, which I still haven't done yet, and just my daily to-do list. Okay, I have to do this social media task on this day, and here's when I'm filming another video, and that sort of a thing. I like keeping this in my bullet journal instead of in my calendar, simply because this is the journal that I reach for to keep track of work tasks. So it ends up being very useful to have everything all in one space. And for these weeklies, it's very simple. I just divide the 2-page spread into 8 boxes and then add decoration on the 8th box and have 7 days throughout the rest. So with those all being done, let's have a flip through of my June bullet journal. The last spread or last theme for this bullet journal. I'm very excited. I think it turned out really nicely. It's kind of artistic, kind of abstract watercolor with florals in there, very summery, springtime, saturated flowers. It's fun and it's cheerful, and I think that is exactly what I need for June. Do you like a abstract theme for your bullet journal, or are you someone who prefers more concrete, pre-made decorations? Do let me know in the comments down below, and otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic day and that you have taken some joy from watching me paint my bullet journal. I'll get this right one of these days. Anyways, have a fantastic day. Thank you for sticking with me, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.